Hello, my name is Dr. Mary Kane and I'm a lecturer in psychology and education with the Open University. I also give some training sessions with Kane and Byrne and I'd like to tell you a little bit about a few sessions that I give. They used to be face-to-face, remember those days when we used to be all able to get in a room together? But now I think we're in the world of the webinar, so these are online webinar sessions. So the first sessions I give are supporting anxious children, and I give two versions of this seminar, one for parents and the other for educators, either preschool, primary school or secondary school. So the parent version of this seminar starts by looking at the science of what is happening when your child is feeling anxious. It's so important that we understand that. We also look at some of the things that we as parents do that we think will support our anxious children, but don't. And I'm speaking from experience on this one, things I've tried myself. I think we all fall into the same traps. And then it's really focusing on all the things that we really can do, the positive steps we can take to support our children who struggle with anxiety. The Educator version of that seminar is quite similar, but this time I'm looking at very practical advice, practical tips you can put in place in your classroom that will support the children struggling with anxiety and all the children. I also do some training on transitions, so I have two different webinars available. The first one is for parents of the little ones, children who are making the transition to primary school or big school, as so many of them call it, in September. And the second version is looking at parents of children making the transition from primary school to secondary school in September. So both of these webinars look at the practicalities of what is involved in the transition, but probably more importantly, they look at the emotional well-being of the child. Things you can do over the summer to prepare them in terms of their self-esteem, their confidence, their independence for making these transitions. The next webinar I'm doing is a new one, and it's called Raising Resilient Children. And the idea of this one is to really give you advice on how to build resilience in our children. So many of our children today, when life is hard and it knocks them, they just seem to struggle picking themselves back up. So again, this is a really practical advice on what we can do as parents, and it does involve looking at ourselves a little bit. I know myself, I can be a little bit overprotective, and it's all about thinking about how we can actually push on that a little bit more to become more resilient. So if any of those webinars are of interest, whether you're a parent or an educator, you can book places at the Kane and Byrne Facebook page or via the Kane and Byrne website. So hopefully I will get to meet some of you online in the future at one of the modules. Thank you.